Rio Grande Southern, number 20. It's up for debate, but this locomotive may be the most famous locomotive from one of the most famous abandoned railroads in the United States. The Rio Grande Southern was a 3-foot narrow gauge line built by the pathfinder of the San Juans, Otto Mears. This line extended from Durango, Colorado, where it met with the Denver and Rio Grande's San Juan extension, and looped around the San Juan Mountains over Lizard Head Pass before finally terminating at Ridgeway, meeting up once again with the Denver and Rio Grande and connecting with its Ouray branch. The Southern never found the success that its connection had. Started in 1899 and completed in 1890, the railroad was stunted by the Silver Panic of 1893, and its resulting depression was a blow that the railroad never fully got back on its feet from. The railroad purchased nearly all of its locomotives second-hand, with a vast majority coming from the Denver and Rio Grande. A few of the locomotives came from other railroads, though, such as the Colorado and Southern and the Florence and Cripple Creek. The railroad limped along through the Great Depression and World War II, hauling ore for the production of what ultimately became the atomic bomb. To help keep the lucrative mail contract and maintain connections for residents in the area, the railroad innovated and placed automobiles and buses onto the rails. Known to trainmen as a motor, but to folks in Colorado, they were known by another name, the Galloping Goose. While the geese took over for the passenger and less than carload lot freight, steam engines were still needed, and one that's about the most iconic is the number 20. This locomotive was built in 1899 by the Schenectady Locomotive Works, the forerunner to the American Locomotive Company, famously known as Alco. Originally built for the Florence and Cripple Creek Railroad that ran from the Cripple Creek mining district to the railhead on the Denver and Rio Grande at Florence near Canyon City. A flash flood in 1915 destroyed much of the railroad in Phantom Canyon, and with the increased competition coming in via the standard gauge Midland Terminal connecting to the national network using the Colorado Midland, the Florence and Cripple Creek gave up and its assets were liquidated. Its rolling stock was dispersed to other narrow gauge lines through the west. Some of the locomotives ended up on the Southern Pacific's Slim Princess lines in California and Nevada, some to the Montana Southern Railroad, while another ended up on the Uinta on the Colorado-Utah border. And even more of them stayed local, with many of the consolidation locomotives ending up on the connecting Denver and Rio Grande, with the Durango Railroad Historical Society restoring one, locomotive number 3, the Elkton, today's DNR GW 315, to operation today. Number 20, named the Portland, was sold to the Rio Grande Southern and became its number 20. This 460 was built 16 years after another famous Colorado 10-wheeler, the Denver and Rio Grande 168. Having the two locomotives next to each other present quite the contrast in improvements in steam locomotion in just a small span of time. The 20 featured a 62% increase in tractive effort at over 18,000 pounds compared to the 168's 11,000 pounds. For comparison, the 20's tractive effort is nearly on par with the 4-year-older number 315. From 1916 until the line's demise, the 20 plied the rails of the Rio Grande Southern between Ridgeway and Durango. After the line was pulled up, the 20 made its way to the Narrow Gauge Motel in Alamosa, the seat for today's Colorado Railroad Museum, and resided at both locations under the ownership of the Rocky Mountain Railroad Club. In the mid-2000s, the locomotive's ownership was formally conveyed to the Colorado Railroad Museum, and the locomotive was sent to the Strasburg Railroad in Pennsylvania, where she resided until 2019, when the major boiler work was done and was returned to Golden. Upon arrival in Golden, the locomotive was reassembled and debuted in 2020. Following year, the locomotive was hauled up to Cripple Creek, its first visit to the city since the demise of the Florence and Cripple Creek in 1915. From there, the locomotive was hauled to Antonito, Colorado, where she hit former Denver and Rio Grande Western rails for the first time since 1952, when she was towed dead over Cumbres Pass from Durango to become a museum exhibit. While not formally part of the Cumbres and Toltec's Victorian Iron Horse Roundup, the 20 was in steam and featured in a lineup of locomotives during this event. After the conclusion of the Victorian Iron Horse Roundup, the 20 was featured in a Trains magazine charter set up by the late Jim Wren in conjunction with the Cumbres and Toltec's 463, dressed as a pre-wreck Rio Grande Southern 455. The next month, it also partook in Pete Laro's 2021 Colorado Steam Charters, which featured a solo day with the 20. The video that follows is from both of these charters. We first start out trackside at Hangman's Trestle, just west of Antonito, Colorado. After Hangman's Trestle, we head up the line to Gravity Hill, also known as State Line Hill. After stopping for water at Lava, we catch the train making its way around the middle loop of the Whiplash Curve. Near Bighorn, we watch as the 20 and 455 navigate a series of curves near Bighorn. At Sublet, the 20 and 455 take the siding so that the daily passenger train, led by K36 number 489, may pass. Just west of Mud Tunnel, the 20 performs a couple solo run-bys at Toltec Siding. Further west, we once again catch the 20 hooked up to the 455 as we go by the Toltec section house site. After passing Rock Tunnel and above Toltec Gorge, we're on the side of the gorge as we watch 20 once again work solo. Just before the station stop at Osier, we catch 20 navigating around the shelf track and horseshoe. Stopping for lunch at Osier, the locomotive is turned and watered, and as we make our last run by at Calico Cut, located in between Rock Tunnel and Mud Tunnel, high above the Toltec Gorge. Hey guys, big deal here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click like, subscribe, so you get more content like this. You don't do it for me, do it for this guy. This is Zephyr. You say hi, Zephyr? No? You're a dog? Okay.